Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Christian Fox. This is 8 Legs Only. This video is going to be a banger. It's going to be banging.
8 Legs Only is brought to you by Reptile Growth Co. for all your reptile and invert needs. Shaboy!
Right, so we're going to get into this video. This video that has been going crazy on social media for 12 months. It features a young girl that's handling very confidently two incredibly large tarantulas. This, my friends, is the Brazilian salmon pink bird-eating tarantula. These guys in the wild will grow to a whopping 11 inches, although normally about 9 inches in captivity. Now, as the name suggests, these guys are from Brazil, which is where you'll typically find most of your larger species of tarantula actually originate from. Forget about the size, these guys are pretty docile. That is, unless threatened. Now, can these guys bite? Yes, of course they can. They are venomous, but the venom is no worse than a bee sting, like a wasp sting. What you really want to watch out for is their eradicating hairs. And what they'll do is they'll kick those up from their abdomen, and those will get in your skin, kind of like fish hooks, like barbs. And they will annoy your skin for 2 to 3 weeks if you're unfortunate enough to get them on you. Actually, no, let's cut that. Let's do the biggest spider first. The biggest spider in our collection, and then we'll do the rehousing of that one after. How's that sound? This girl will eat anything. She retreats to her burrow and gnaws away on it and just hides away. I've even seen this girl eat her own molt. Now, these guys are ferocious eaters. I've never seen this little lady turn down a meal ever. In fact, once I even fed her a pinky mouse. Let's get on with the enclosure. So we've got a 25 by 25 by 25 glass enclosure with some plants. So as usual, we always start with a very thin layer of bioballs. These are made of clay, help take the excess moisture out of the air and always assist in the bioactive settings for your vivarium. Working side by side with your cleanup crew just to get this vivarium started off. A cork bark hide and some topsoil as your substrate. We're not going to overcomplicate this vivarium, but just going to make it very simple and very functional. This is a pre-mixed substrate full of isopods, springtails, and exactly what this enclosure needs to get it going. So we'll give it a spray down. This will help the humidity and allow us to carry on to the next stage. The leaves and the live moss, legitimately, we get this from our local cemetery. We get this from our local graveyard. It's 200 years old, it's been growing in the wild, and it's untouched by any chemicals or pesticides that are... Right, I'm happy with this now. Let's just get on with it and get this little lady into her new enclosure. As strange as it may look, all I'm doing now is just throwing in some chopped up cucumber. And what that will do is feed the isopods, the springtails, mix in with the substrate to kind of enrich the soil. And as well as that, if the seeds do end up germinating and growing inside the enclosure, that's a sign of a good, healthy enclosure, whether you pull them up or not. Okay, so here's our little hobbit house. We've got a water dish, we've got our plants, we've got our isopods, we've got our leaves, we've kind of got everything. And here is Animal. Now, she may not look that big from there, but believe me, when you see her in a minute, she is huge. So I actually managed to get rid of the cup. The funny thing was, I put the cup over her, and she was that angry that she ran up into the cup to attack it. So that was a bonus. I must add, this is the only spider that ever made Cal cry when it tagged the tongs. Now we're talking about 14-inch long tongs that it tagged, and she literally broke down and burst into tears after. Of course I laughed, and I should apologise for that. Keep constant pressure between the spider and the brush, just to slide it out gently. No, it's not going to be rocket science. She knows she's good. She's going to find her way. She's going to get to know the enclosure. More importantly, she's going to get inside that burrow, and she's going to make it her home. So you can keep these spiders between 70 and 80 degrees. Now, one thing I will say is throughout the winter months, you do need to reduce the temperature in these enclosures. I would say down to the mid to semi-late 60s. That is just so it can replicate what it does in the wild. Now, whether you have the temperature high in the summer or whether you drop it down low to about 65 in the winter, you always throughout the year going to want to keep this humidity level at about 70%. Whether it's cold, whether it's hot, you always want to keep this a little bit moist. So the reason that I done the larger spider first was because I'm actually putting Chester DRP into Animal's own enclosure, and Animal got the upgrade, so I had to kind of do it that way rather than, you know what I mean. So now let's do Chester's enclosure, get that over and done with, so that we can, get some food on. So very quickly, this is Animal's old enclosure. He's outgrown it. We're now going to put Chester into that, and I'm going to take it apart, do some jiggery pokery, and within a few minutes we'll have a new enclosure.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
So now that's the video done. She's feeding frogs. Like if I flip it around, she's feeding frogs, and I'm going to close this video down. But before I do that, I'm going to give you a little snippet of the weekend we just spent with Tarantula Luke, where he handles his venomous tarantulas. He's waiting to, is it?
Shaboy!